Coming up in the morning edition, the Point Resort reaching another milestone, a proposed new OBAN agreement to go to cabinet soon, and more efforts underway to provide funding for cancer patients.
It's a Friday and the weekend is here. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis and this is the Morning Edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. You are now looking at a live shot of our tower cam outside of our ZNS studios here on Rusty Bethel Drive. We can expect some trailing moisture associated with post-tropical storm Michael, which could have a slight impact on our daily commute this morning. Traffic reporter Sieska Adderley is standing by with what's happening on our streets. Good morning, Sieska.
Good Friday morning. We're coming to you live from Chesapeake Road, and traffic is moving smoothly. It is starting to pick up just a little bit. It's not hectic in this area. It's definitely not a problem area for officers from the traffic division. But what could be a problem is for those of us that may want to partake in happy hour after the workday is all over. And here to tell us how to do so responsibly to avoid any incidents for both yourselves and the police is Corporal Decory Barr from the traffic division. Good morning, Corporal Barr, and happy Friday. How are you today?
Good morning, Sieska. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So it's Friday, the end of the work week. And for those of us that may want to partake in happy hour or alcoholic beverages just to, I guess, take the load off at the end of a long work week, what should we do and how should we do it responsibly?
Well, you said it. You should do it being responsible. With that, we suggest or advise that if you must, have a drink or two. Travel with your designated driver. Be responsible about it. You don't have to, or you shouldn't want to, knowing that you have to drive, go over what we consider the legal alcohol limit. And the legal limit doesn't mean 1 or 2 or 10. Just be responsible.
And what is the legal limit? I don't know if that's ounces or how you guys calculate that?
Well, no, it's not measured in ounces. We won't say at this stage. What we would do is try not to have too much.
All right. And so if you find yourself in that predicament where you're unable to drive, what's the next best thing to do?
If you find yourself in that predicament and you're without a designated driver, I would advise that you find a safe place, whether it's a nearby family member or friend, or a nearby police station. You could pull into the yard and catch a 5, take a load off and recuperate, and then get back onto the road. If that's not doable, if you're in a position where you really can't drive, then we'd suggest that you call someone to come for you.
All right. And so with pedestrians as well, it's not just those that are driving, but those may walk to the neighborhood bar or somewhere close by. What's the danger in walking impaired?
It's the same thing. Your vision would be blurred. You have a slow or delayed reaction time. If you find yourself walking to a nearby establishment to consume some alcohol or alcoholic beverage, then we'd ask that you have someone with you who can guide you back to your destination, or again call a loved one to come and collect you from that location.
All right, thank you so much. That's Corporal Decory Barr from the Traffic Division, and he's giving us tips on how to enjoy happy hour because we all work hard, and at the end of a long work week, we might want to take a load off with a drink or two, but ensure that you do so responsibly, not to the detriment of yourself or other motorists or pedestrians on the road. Back to you in the studio, LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Sieska. And joining us live in studio on the Morning Edition is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean with our weather outlook. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. Well, we have Michael, which is moving offshore now. It's still a tropical storm, expected to become a post-tropical storm later on today, but there is a trailing trough out of that right across the northwest Bahamas that will provide some clouds and a few showers in parts of the northwest Bahamas during the course of the day. But outside of our studios, we have some clouds, as you saw already in our tower cam. 77 degrees for your temperature, relative humidity at 88%. The winds are north at 2 miles per hour, barometric pressure 1,012.3 millibars. That's 29.89 inches, and it is falling. Temperatures around the islands this morning, we're picking up 77s in Marshall, Abaco, also Grand Turtle Key and Freeport. In the Berry Islands, 81, 82 degrees in Allenstown, Bimini. In Harbor Island, 81, Roxanne, Eleuthera, also 81 degrees. Alderstown, Cat Island at 80, 79 in Stanley Key, also Kemp Space, St. Andrews, Fresh Creek at 80 degrees. In San Salvador and Rum Key, 80 degrees. 81s in Clarence, down Long Island, Crooked Island, Ragged Island, Acklands, 80 degrees. Betsy Bay, Maguana, and Matthew Tiny Nago, also 80, and the Turks and Caicos Island. It rounds out our temperature profile at 80 degrees. And your boating forecast for today in the northwestern parts of our country: southwest winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. High tide at 9:47 this morning, the low tide in the afternoon at 4:12. And for the central and southeastern islands, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots and wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Now on to our top story this morning. The Point on West Bay Street has reached another significant phase in its construction timeline. Yesterday, officials of the multi-million-dollar development held a topping-off ceremony for the 126 luxury residence units or condominium tower. The project's entertainment center, called Seven, also officially opened last night, and it features a bowling alley, a movie theater, pool table, and virtual reality games. Developers anticipate fully opening the Point in 2020. President Daniel Liu revealed that sales for the Point's new luxury condominiums have already begun.
No matter you are long-term residents or short-term investors who are willing to join our exciting rental pool program, as of today, through the so-called Whisper campaign of a month and a half, we have 25% units sold. So everyone, if you are interested, you better be hurry up.
Minister Dr. the Most Honorable Hubert Minnis complimented the Point developers for their contribution to the country's economy.
Sure, both visitors and residents alike will be attracted to this facility, enriching their travel and entertainment experiences. A multi-sectoral team of my government's officials recently conducted a site visit to this project. The team reported that they were pleased with the progress and intend to continue regular consultations to ensure that the project proceeds in compliance with the heads of agreement, which is mutually beneficial.
The proposed multi-billion-dollar Oban development could soon be reaching another high point. Minister of Labor, Senator the Honorable Dion Fowlkes, who also co-chairs the Oban subcommittee, said a meeting was held this week with the technical group that is advising the government. Mr. Fowlkes indicated that a proposed new amended heads of agreement could be presented to Cabinet as early as Tuesday. He said the agreement is quite comprehensive and he is very proud of the technical committee, 3 of whom are Grand Bahamian professionals in the oil refinery and storage industry. He said that they were able to advise on the new Oban policy. Now, following the presentation, Mr. Fowlkes says the committee will follow the Cabinet's instructions on the Oban deal. The upper chamber has given its approval to the Fiscal Responsibility Bill, which promises to provide accountability and transparency in the management of public finances. Attorney General Carl Bethel led off the debate on the bill yesterday. He believes it's a giant step to empower Bahamians with information to make sound judgments to provide parliamentary and public examination of the government's fiscal performance. In other news, the wife of the Prime Minister, Patricia Minnis, participated in activities marking the International Day of the Girl Child at the NGM Major High School in Buckley's, Long Island on Thursday. Some 71 girls from NGM Major and 44 from North Long Island High participated in the event, which was observed locally and globally. The observance seeks to support increased opportunities for girls while raising awareness to the countless challenges facing young girls. Mrs. Minnis noted that within 10 years, adolescent girls will be entering the workforce. However, she said 90% of them will work in unfavorable conditions, and she is working with stakeholders to remove that stigma.
Young girls living in developing countries if you do not take your education seriously, that is, if you are not a part of that tech hub and a part of educating yourself so that you are no longer in these low or no paying, abusive and exploitation jobs. And so, to that end, we are trying to remove that stigma, and we are trying to put you in a different position.
Mrs. Menes called on female leaders on Long Island to assist in mentoring young girls.
This is collaborating with leaders that train and mentor young girls that will galvanize enthusiasm, expand existing learning opportunities, chart new pathways, and provide opportunities that will enhance and bring out leadership abilities deep within that will enable you to reach for your greatness and achieve your full potential.
And still to come, we've got a live healthy breakfast demonstration. That story and more when the Morning Edition comes right back. A local cancer support group is doing its part this month to make persons battling breast and other forms of cancer feel loved and appreciated. On October 25th, the group will host yet another soup day to do just that. Here's their story.
Giving to a cancer patient in need is the aim of the Jenny Dean Caring and Sharing Support Group. Every fourth Thursday of the month, members assemble for their soup day and distribute healthy soups across the capital. They also provide soup to a lucky cancer survivor for each soup sold. President Duquesa Dean lost her mother, Jenny Dean, to breast cancer last year and says the group has been the support for persons battling various forms of cancers.
The group initially was an environment for survivors to come in to have mental refreshment, to be able to have not just their spiritual needs replenished, but also their physical, their emotional. So they did a lot of gatherings where they shared stories. And after my mom passed last October, we put a little bit more structure in place for the group. And so every month we host an educational meeting where we bring in experts to come and talk to the survivors about best tips to prevent reoccurrences, but also how to take care of their bodies while they are in the fight.
Dean notes that the type of food consumed also plays a crucial role in the cancer treatment process.
The grocery store tour, in conjunction with Old Solomon's Old Fort, with Coach Melissa, she takes the survivors on a tour of the grocery store because we really want them to understand how food impacts their treatment and their bodies, what fuels the disease, what are some of the things that should be avoided. And so she takes the survivors on a tour to teach them where the hidden sugars are, to teach them what are great products and what products should be avoided.
There are about 60 members of the group, and many of them are experiencing financial challenges. However, Dean says the group promotes a series of fundraising events to assist members.
They don't have insurance, and so financial, that stress takes a toll. And so we bind together as a group to support them. We offer financial assistance as best as the group can because we hold fundraisers to help us do our work. But we also take to the streets. And so this year in particular, we took to the streets for two of our survivors who have since passed, Therese and Natalie. And we did water drives. The proceeds from those water drives were donated to their medical expenses. We pay directly to the medical establishments for them to be able to continue their treatment.
Meanwhile, the Jenny Dean Caring and Sharing Cancer Support Group will also host Pink Roses and Pearls, a jazz benefit concert slated for this Sunday, October 14th at the Hillside House and Gallery. The Cancer Support Group is hosting the event to assist women afflicted with the killer disease. Member Judy Miller shares the impetus for the initiative.
It's a two-pronged event. One is to celebrate Jenny Dean. This is the month of her anniversary of her death. So we're going to be celebrating that, and we're also going to be celebrating Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which, as you know, is October. So it's a twofold event. It's going to be an evening of jazz, singing. Simone Bowe is our guest artist, and it's going to be a phenomenal night. We're going to be selling roses, we're going to be telling jokes, and just enjoying each other, which is so important.
Miller says because she chose life, she wants to help other women do the same. She says the group started nearly 7 years ago and it allows women to share their experiences.
We are a group of women of about 70 or 80 strong. We have a monthly meeting every third Wednesday at the meeting lounge, and our meeting it has different formats. Sometimes we go out to dinner, sometimes we have a game night. Sometimes we have once a month, at least once every 3 months, we have a formal meeting where we go through the business of the house and discuss specific objectives and goals. But we make it a fun thing where women can share and interact. We have a game night where we just laugh, and then you bring your family and friends. And we want women to relax and.
And finally, it's no secret that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and that is why what you put in your body first thing in the morning is crucial. Well, this morning, Sieska Adderley is live with Chef Kashla Smith, who specializes in cooking healthy. Good morning, Sieska.
We're still on Chesapeake Road, but this time we're inside, and we're joined live with Chef Kashla Smith Clark from the Workplace Cafe by Healthy Concepts. Good morning, Chef Smith Clark. How are you?
Good morning, Ms. Adderley. I am awesome.
Good. So what are you chefing up for us this morning?
Well, anybody know the whole concept of Healthy Concepts is, of course, providing healthy foods. So we know everybody sometimes is in the rush in the morning getting the kids to school. So we wanted to give you a little jump start on breakfast this morning. So we're going to give you some healthy tips. That's going to be quick, that's going to be easy. You're easy able to do it at home, or if you're not, you stop by the Workplace Cafe from 7:30 a.m. We're here from 7, so you can call in your order and then drive by, do a swoop in, pay for your order, and swoop back out. We'll be happy to do that for you. So this morning we're going to talk a little bit about a light breakfast, but also full with protein, full with items to give you that energy boost. So we're going to do a yogurt parfait. I personally like low-fat Greek yogurt. And anybody who knows me, I love using local products. The season for farming is about to start in another week or two. Shout out to Tim Harbour and Salima at Field to Fork, Chickchani Farm, Farmer Tooney at Greenleaf, Farmer Knowles. These people are some of the partners that we have with Healthy Concepts that help us to provide some of the most beautiful, amazing, healthy dishes with locally grown ingredients. So let's get back to our yogurt parfait. So right here, it's just a simple glass. This is going to be really, really quick and easy. So we're going to start off with some granola. This is a muesli mix that we made ourselves, toasted coconut, a little bit of raisins. We made our own granola kernels with honey from Chickchani Farms, done in Andres. So you're just going to drop in your little granola. We're going to put some of our yogurt. Now this is Greek yogurt, low fat. Okay? Make sure that gives a good cover on the granola. I'm just dropping in walnuts, cranberries, blueberries, strawberries. So for those persons who got the sweet tooth like me, and it's a struggle sometimes to stay healthy.
I know, right?
So I like my dry fruit. That helps me, especially with the coconut. You're going to have a good flavor with there. We're going to
eating this, you could drop a few pounds too, right?
You can drop a few pounds. We all, you know, as we get older and you pass 40 and your fight to look sexy and younger becomes a little bit harder. So we have our honey on top. We have our granola. We're going to finish off with the rest of our berries and walnuts. So.
And that literally doesn't even take you a minute to do, right?
No.
And it's filling, because people think yogurt it wouldn't be as filling, right?
Especially with that granola in there. And you get that sweetness from your fruits, the honey. Some people put banana, some people put whipped cream, but I think the whipped cream is a little bit too much calories. I think the Greek yogurt does it well enough. And there we go.
Voila.
Greek yogurt parfait, and it's quick, easy. It could be made in the night. You could put, you know, the NutriBullet has the lids and the plastic, and you can make it 2 nights before, let it sit, pick it up, get it and go in the morning.
Nice.
Another thing we as Bahamians, we eat a lot of eggs. So I want to do a quick version on an omelet, but for those people that are watching the calories like I am, this is going to be really quick. This omelet is going to be made with egg whites. Okay. So the eggs are already separated. We have our non-stick, no-calorie spray in. Let's talk about the side condiments that go in this omelet.
Okay.
To give you this extra protein that you're going to need to carry for those hours of the day where you know it's going to be crazy, crazy busy, you're going to need some type of protein.
Okay.
A lot of persons, and I've told this story a few times over the months, if anybody knows me, I've lost 2 persons in my family this year alone to cancer. And we have 2 other members that are still fighting this fight. And this has been a real, real wake-up call for my family. This has been a real, real wake-up call for a lot of persons close to us and even some of my clients that come here. And they ask us, oh, it's so expensive. They tell me, it's so expensive to eat healthy. How do I do this? How do I do this? Everybody has a certain budget. Everybody has to decide which budget works for them. But there's ways to get around. The farmer's market is some of the best cost for money when it comes to buying fresh local produce. So with this omelet, right now, this looks like regular sausage. This is turkey sausage.
Okay.
Quinoa. Anybody knows about quinoa? Organic red quinoa. 100% more protein than meat. So you have the turkey sausage, we have our peppers, we have our quinoa. We are now dropping them in our hot pan. Now, I'm not adding any salt and pepper to this because the turkey sausage itself lets out a little bit of salt,
okay.
And we also want to watch that content.
Okay.
Going back to cancer and talking about eating healthy and better tasting food, we also need to focus on, we like bread. Bahamians love bread. That's one of our problems. That's why we're so fluffy and everything else. But this is spelt bread. Anybody who is on the health craze would tell you spelt bread tastes just like regular bread, but guess what? It is 3 times healthier. We're going to add zucchini and squash.
Okay.
So we have all our veggies in, our quinoa in, our turkey sausage in, not a bunch of oil.
All right, so Chef Keshler, while we're cooking this up, we're going to head back into the studio, but we have a special surprise for you because we're going to see just how this omelet is going to turn out later on in the newscast. So stay tuned, but back to you in the studio for now.
So I hope you bring some of that healthy breakfast back to the studio for us. For sure. I see we're all decked down in our
I'm
pink.
supporting the ladies this month. Pink Pants. I'd like to thank the ladies here at the Broadcasting Corporation that came to work this morning. Saw this lovely bouquet on my desk from Andrea Janor. Got this lovely shirt from Linda Sands up in the HR department. Kayla Nixon in sales to promise me something, but just like a bowling game, it was all about talk. I'm all pink pants, pink shoes, so I'm all decked out today. Make sure Danny and Kruger get this. I'm supporting the ladies this weekend.
And he's wearing Crocs, guys. If you were able to zoom in, he's wearing Crocs. So what's coming up in sports?
Coming up in sports, it's a big night for soccer. The Bahamas getting set to take on Antigua and Barbuda. Hope the stadium be full because admission is free.
That story and more ahead in sports.
Oh. You can take a step over. Yes, good kidding me this morning.
Right there. First one you can slide a little bit. Alright, you can slide in just a tiny bit. There you go. Mic check, please count to 1 to 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Danny ain't even zoom in. Good morning once again and welcome to Sports. I'm Charles Fisher. Before we get to soccer, Japan, we have breaking news has been awarded the 2019 IAAF World Relays, already preparing to host the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo, Japan. They will now welcome athletics a year earlier when it holds the IAAF Yokohama International Relays at the stadium May 11th through the 12th. Now, the first three editions, were held here in the Bahamas, 2014, 15, and 17, and that's all it for the Bahamas. Well, the Bahamas is set to kick with Antigua and Barbuda this evening at 6 o'clock. We are talking soccer at the Thomas A. Robinson Stadium. Both teams' second game of the CONCACAF Nations Cup. And both are coming off losses in their opener. The Bahamas lost 4-0 to Belize, while Antigua and Barbuda were blanked by St. Lucia 3-0. Now, tonight's game admission is free. And joining me in the studio this morning is Carl Lynch from the Bahamas Football Association. And Carl, we're expecting a pretty good game tonight between Bahamas and Antigua and Barbuda.
Absolutely. Both teams, like you noted, coming off of losses. Training has been intense. The Bahamas team is ready mentally and physically. I had an opportunity to watch the Antigua Barbuda team, and they're just as ready.
Now, the gates open at 6 o'clock, and the Bahamian favorite word, free.
Absolutely. Gates open at 4 p.m. Tailgate party, a lot of excitement. The game kicks off at 6 o'clock sharp.
What is the CONCACAF Nations Cup? What is that all about?
Basically what it is, it's a series of games that allows countries in the region to be ranked based on competition. So as opposed to playing one World Cup game every 4 years, now you have an average about 4 games per year.
And what can you tell the
and then officially you're ranked in groups.
And what can you tell the Bahamians about our team, Team 242?
It's young, it's fast, it's fit, it's disciplined. And they're ready to go. They're a bunch of young kids sprinkled with some veterans, and they're going to give them a good show.
So a lot of activities are planned for the night besides the regular soccer football game?
Yeah, you come in early. We're asking the public to wear gold for victory. Like you say, it's free, and so we hope to fill the bowl. The record, I think, the record attendance so far has been about 10,000. I think we could see about 15,000 people in there tonight.
And what can you tell us about Antigua and Barbuda?
those guys are ready. Those guys are ready. You can see a lot of seasoned vets. They have some professionals amongst their players. The coaches are pretty strong. And from what I saw last night at the training session, they're good to go.
So Antigua and Barbuda will be taking on the Bahamas tonight. Gates open at 4 o'clock, like Lynch indicated. Game is 6 o'clock, and they will get started on their time, not Bahamian time, so make sure to be there for that game. And once again, it is all free, so make your way on down to the Thomas A. Robinson Track and Field Stadium. Also going on tonight, Gladstone Road Liquor Panthers and the Aces play for the right to move on to the Bahamas Government Departmental Basketball Association Championship. The losers done for the season. This series is being back and forth and all even at 2 games apiece. The winner gets a finals matchup with the Olivia's Guest House Cyborgs. Tip-off time is 8 o'clock from the Mecca AF Adley Gym.
Well, let's do or die, you know. If this is what it's all about, win or go home. So if you have any heart, you'll come out here and give it your all. We just got to regroup tomorrow at practice, come out and play hard. That's a good team. That's a great team over there. So we got to be hitting on all cylinders to beat those guys.
We got to learn to close out the man. We got to learn to get up on the man. This way you get your name, and that's how I get my name. So they know I come in for the next game.
Tip-off time tonight is 8 o'clock, and that's going to do it for sports. I'm Charles Fisher. Thanks for watching.
Check.
Tuck the cable in the
In our final look at weather, Michael, now a post-tropical cyclone over the waters of the Atlantic, has intensified, now packing winds of 65 miles per hour, and it will continue to pull away from the continental United States. And forecast for today, we're going in for partly sunny conditions, but there will be 1 or 2 afternoon showers developing, as we do have a little frontal boundary across the northwest Bahamas. 88 degrees for your high, and tonight we're looking at partly cloudy with a few showers, even an isolated thunderstorm in the mix. Low temperature getting down to 78 degrees. Extended weather forecast, upper 80s right through the 7-day cycle, and those nighttime temperatures remaining in the mid to upper 70s. But a beautiful weekend shaping up, safe for those showers developing later on this afternoon. LaDon?
Thanks a lot, Basil. And just before we go, we'd like to send out a very special happy birthday to our very own Jiminita Swain, who's celebrating her 16th birthday today.
61st, you got it wrong.
and Fisher, show off the attire, the pink attire.
You like foolishness.
And that does it for the morning edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us once again. I'm LaDon Davis. See you right back here on Monday morning.